Hello? Hello. It is time for more Danganronpa because I have heard. What the fuck? Get this shit off my screen. I have heard that there's not much more left in this game. So I'm kind of hoping we can get a decent chunk of the way through. I don't think we'll be able to finish it, but we'll see. We'll see how long my voice holds up for. But I got my water as usual. I'm ready to go. I think if I can make it to the trial, I'll probably be able to do it tonight, just because the trial means that stuff will be voice acted. Alright, where is it? Where is the game audio? There we go. Alright, let me... So, who does that body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to paint anymore. Fair enough. Listen, Makoto. You remember how the body looked before, before it blew up? If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. There's also a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Byakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was in the body, there didn't seem to be any around on the ground. Wow, that's a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, and having talked about it like that, I hope you remember it a bit too, I guess. Great, thank you. Okay. What say you, weedhead? Oh, God. Yoshihiro's voice is half the problem here, if I'm being honest. I can do just about everybody else's voices just fine. But man, it's just the minute I go to do Yoshihiro's voice that, like, things just shit itself completely. It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and? Well, I was just thinking, when we first found the body. First found the body, huh? I should look back at what we did this morning to help us remember that Monokuma woke me up at around 7 o'clock as normal. I headed to the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met up with Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then headed to the gym where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to go get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the dead body. What time was it then? Now then, what time is it, Toko? Well, we left the gym. When we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 of the dot by now. Well, that's right. It would have been right around 9 o'clock. Now that you mention it, I think you're kind of right. So, I think we could say that the body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, my job's done. Alright, yeah, whatever. That's about as much as you normally do to help me. Alright, what fucking essay are you gonna have for me? Maximilian Pegasus. Good timing, Makoto. I wanted to talk to you. That's the wrong button. Talk! You wanted to talk to me! What did you want to talk about?
So, in other words,
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
in other words,
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking me that now, and what's nighttime got to do with it?
naturally.
Isn't it obvious, Yugi boy? This nighttime this nighttime took place after murder. This nighttime took place after murder. Oh, fucking Christ. Isn't it obvious, Yugi boy? This murder took place right after nighttime. Or just after nighttime. How could you be so sure of that? Because just after nighttime, I came to the garden. I was in the garden looking around for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. He's been spending a lot of his time here for the past few days, so I figured he'd be here. And I can confirm that when I arrived here last night, there was no body.
In other words,
So the murder could have only taken place at some point during nighttime after I left the garden. However, Tokohiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together for the entirety of last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's room. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. Even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only one who doesn't have alibis is me and Kyoko.
that's right.
And if the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, we went to go get Hina and Toko. We stopped by your room as well, but you never came to the door. So, where precisely were you? Well, I'm telling the truth. I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so... That's hardly an alibi. Yes, it fucking is. That is absolutely an alibi. It may not be a provable alibi, but, like... In a court of law, I was not there. Well, I know. So, what now? You seem to be at quite the disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? Yaki's account, yeah, okay. Yeah, alright, okay, let's see what the fuck this body is. Right. I made the prediction last time that the body here, this body, is going to probably be Junko's body, because the Monokuma report mentions that the body was full of like spikes and shit. It was not full of spikes, it was full of holes, and the only person who we know who died who was full of holes was Junko, because she had the spears rammed through her. So I'm just gonna predict this, like, this body right here that we're looking at right now is probably Junko's. I don't know how or why. Well, I have a theory with the biolab, but if I check the body more thoroughly, then maybe I'll be able to be sure if it's Kyoko or not. I don't even think we need to check more thoroughly because the height's wrong. The upper half of the body got set on fire after the explosion, so it's totally black. Also, the top half of the body is wet. Oh, because dump. Yeah, because I threw water. So I threw the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, I dumped water on top of the top half. This explains precisely why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? The white jacket the victim was wearing is totally burnt up. There's only one piece left. Okay. Huh? There's something weird about this body's fingernails. Yeah. Oh, these are really long. These are fake nails. They're really long. Seem like they'd get in the way of normal activity. There's something on the yeah. To say the fake nails aren't the fucking. I mean, the fake nails are how I am. Also help with my "it's Junko" idea. But the other thing that's out of the ordinary here is what the fuck is that symbol? Is that a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing. Yes, I can. There's a fucking wolf on it. Yeah. This manual controls sprinklers. Is set to turn on at 7:30 every morning, and Monica said the time positively couldn't be changed. Huh? Hold on. The sprinklers turned on at 7:30 each morning, right? Then if the body was here before then, the sprinkler should have gotten wet. Okay, so the murder had to take place after the sprinklers went off. Okay. I remember there were some chickens in the coop. I count 4 chickens. Well, 4? So some aren't there. Hey, what's going on, Makoto? Whoa, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here? Of course I do. There were precisely 5. Yeah, right. What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens in here now. We're 1 short. Huh? That's so weird. I wonder where it disappeared to. I was down here just last night before nighttime last night, and there were definitely still 5 chickens then. What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of this world. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Even if one piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I'm kind of having to change his voice a little bit, but that's just how it be. Alright, well, the knife. There's a knife lying on the ground. This is Mr. Found. Yep, The force of the explosion must have thrown it here. If the knife went all the way through the body, from front to back. Does that mean that the knife was the cause of the fatal injury? Either way, this knife, it looks rather familiar. Wait, yep. It's the knife that I had on me. Oh, fuck. Alright, well, I hope we're all ready for Byakuya to be like, you had the better weapon. You fucked up, boy, and I'm gonna be like, it wasn't me, dumbass. And then he's gonna be like, but how? This is getting really weird. There's too many strange coincidences. Or the person with the mask was who attacked me last night. They were holding the knife. The same mask. Yeah, so they look the same. Maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked me, I was in a trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife. And maybe And if this really is Kyoko, I mean, Kyoko was the one who attacked me, but why the mask? Look, these look like fragments of something on the ground. They're all burnt, so I can't really be sure. It feels like I found something like this before. But where? Wait, it was there. I'll have to double check later. Fragment near the dead body been added to the truth bullet. I don't know what it's talking about here. Just to be sure, I go ahead and check the tool shed. That's a tarp. The tarp was not here before. I should probably take a look into that. The tarp is wet and covered in mud and grime, but on the other side, it's perfectly clean. What? One side of the tarp is wet and dry. Something about that bothered me. Okay. Something carved into this handle. Crazy diamonds. Same thing that's on the back of Mondo's coat. The pickaxe is connected to Mondo somehow. That's very intriguing, but now it's not the time to worry about it. So it has nothing to do with the case. No, it has nothing to do with the case. I think I've checked everything in this room that I need to check, but I'm not done yet. There's other areas I need to go check. Specifically that fragment that I found before. There's somewhere I need to go to confirm my suspicion. To find out more about Kyoko. Because of course Kyoko, if that's true. We can tell that it's not. Maybe if I can get into a room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to a room.
It's all clear now.
What?
Okay, so we have to talk to Byakuya, because, yeah. Hey, Byakuya? If you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it later, at the class trial. Oh, it's not actually about that. It's about the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect, after all. Of course, if I were to go there with you, that would be a different story. Then will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see. Depending on my mood, I may go with you, or I may not. Just come back later. Okay, then in the meantime, I should look around elsewhere. Maybe I should check out the one area. Give me more of a fucking... Mm-hmm. Hmm. I don't think this is it. Hmm. And the other answer that I maybe have for us to what? That could be. Who's lying? I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
Hey, I just found something. What it is? It's a bomb. What? A bomb? One must be installed in every Monokuma robot for sure. A bomb! And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragments that I found in the garden are part of the bomb. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna make me go. For fuck's sake. dipshit let me into Kyoko's room, please?
Let's go.
You want to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well, let's go. Wait for me. Yaki walked out without a second glance, and I hurried after him down the dorm down the dorm hallways. What the fuck? Okay, alright, I need to talk to Byakuya. Well then, here we go. Okay, I took the key, inserted it into the keyhole, and then it unlocked. And it opened. Imagine we just walk in and Kyoko's just there, just like, hey guys, what's up? So this is Kyoko's room. Damn, we got nothing happening. Yeah, it's if he wanted me to look at the book. Something on the table. The wooden block decoration has 6 on it. What's that? What purpose does it serve? Well, I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those traditional public bathhouses use them. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse, Yugi boy.
Certainly.
But if it is a key, I think I may know what it unlocks. Really? What? Unless I am mistaken, I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that might go to. Alright, do we have anything else here? Alright, Makoto. Okay. Well, I think I found everything.
What?
Nothing in particular. I just thought I might find something that's a clue here. A clue might help us understand Kyoko more. Are you serious? That's why you made me make my time out of my search to come here. Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed, no matter how much time you take. Seriously. You have something more Surely you have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here. Oh, I know. Yoko gave you something earlier.
It's true.
If it ever happens to me. I found it. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it.
Interesting.
Well, it certainly has happened. So open it. Okay. Open the envelope, looked inside. It was a single piece of paper. The fuck?
What?
It said under the sheets. That's all that there was there. Yeah, it looks like it. Kidding. Part of me didn't expect to find shit. What's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Oh, class student registry. Mukuro Ikasawa.
I see.
It appears to be Mukuro Ikasawa's profile. Yeah, looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she... That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she stuck it in the headmaster's room along with the key. God, yourself. Yeah, It's supposed to be the blank Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said death without a meaning is unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. I made an effort to pull myself together and then looked down at the profile sheet. Name Mukuro Ikasawa, sex female. The ultimate soldier, and they're a fucking high school student. Ooh. The ultimate high school teenage soldier, let's fucking go. Child soldier, although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from her childhood, and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won several game tournaments and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over the Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, completely alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she has been a part of the mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she'd received battle training by her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. Alright, okay. The ultimate soldier? A mercenary group? This doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's like a completely different dimension. This is like, this one's like non-fiction, and the other one is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different it is. That was how I just saw things as an ordinary person, but then I never imagined I would hear your name. You're the name Fenrir in a place like this. Oh, you recognize it.
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses. And they always get the job done. It's worth remembering. This is all part of the world that's totally removed from the one that I lived in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already... Whoa, I feel like our hero is coming a bit player, and the bit player is becoming our hero. Oh, it's you, Mickey. What? What have you got there in your little hand? Oh, you found her profile. So what if I did? Don't freak out on me. I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. In any case, you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either. Even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there is no rule against stealing things, is there? What I cannot forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and bursted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivorous, you know.
What? Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Well, of course I am. A proper school life is built on dedication to organization and order. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, have to follow the rules and regulations myself. So are you saying that you follow your own rules as well? Of course! Absolutely. If I can't... I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is now, can I? In fact, on subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting?
Interesting.
It's about Rowan writing the rules. They're actually one of the participants in the killing game. I don't think I ever told you as how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all first gathered together here in the main hall back then, there were 15, right? I think the first meeting we have led to a little misunderstanding amongst you all.
A misunderstanding, are you
in
saying?
other words,
That's right, there actually wasn't 15 of you.
yes indeed.
The total number of students taking part in this killing game is actually 16.
16.
Mukuro equals the 16th student, the one they called Watch Out for Her.
He was a part of the school life, so the regulations, following all the regulations is... Alright, okay, he voiced that.
Can you say something?
Why are you telling us this?
Oh, well, because I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we got so many new viewers, I wanted to make sure that everybody's on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know.
Yes indeed.
Makes sense?
Well now.
Okay then, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I've got some revenge to get to. So I have an extra little bonus for you.
Revenge?
I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Gary, so I'm going to share a little secret with you.
Seriously?
Hey,
You know why she wears those stupid gloves day in, day out all the time? Well, anybody, I told you, but she wears them to cover up a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see.
What?
Okay, now that's all you get.
Okay, great. Why? Can we really trust the fucking bear as a source here? Yoko wears scars. Okay, yeah. Wait a second. On the back of her hand. He said there were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears gloves to hide them, which means there's fake nails on the corpse. Are you thinking about Kyoko again? Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must really hate you to make him made you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, which means Mukuro was a student here. Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro Iwakasaba is the one creating the rules for this game. And that's why he wouldn't... But why he would tell us that? But why would he tell us that? And why now? Because he wanted to make things clear so that there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves that Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro's related to the case.
It's certainly possible.
Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko. That would explain why we would have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her a part of our killing game. Mukuro was the killer? Kyoho? Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly why I thought what I thought when the investigation first began. Based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind. Mukuro Ikasapura is not the culprit. What makes you say that? Well, Makoto, the ultimate despair. We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? Well, that's a good point.
In other words,
Mukuro giving us information that would raise the question about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So then this is a trap. They want us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me, Yugi boy. The way he said it, it's definitely seemed possible, but if that's really true, if Mukuro is the killer, isn't the killer, then who is? Well, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there's another place. There are other places we need to investigate. Well, I should find out what the key in the dojo really are connected. Well, are you coming? Huh? What's that? Huh? Yep.
I see.
Do you really see the... Makoto, do you see the furthest locker to the right?
Strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right? Well, I should probably use the key we found in the locker. Well, just try it. I took out the wood block key, inserted it into the locker's metal lock, and... Yep. Locker we opened. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong, despite how thin they are. But of course, about a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. Oh, there's something else inside the locker. There's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a blood stain? If this is the case, it surely means it must be related to the case. The duct tape is related to the case somehow. But how? How could I possibly prove it was involved? Okay, I think that's all the lockers. Okay. Is something wrong?
Very strange.
It's just very odd, don't you think? The locker was holding items that clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room? Or perhaps... Byakuya. We'll get it. Come on. We need to continue to the next location. Oh, next location? There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research into Fenrir. Fenrir? You mean a mercenary group that Mukuro was a part of? But how are we supposed to find out information about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do research on something? Research? Are you talking about the archive? That's right, the archive has all kinds of stuff the general public doesn't have access to. We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. This might be winding down soon because my throat is fucked. I believe there are files related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Miyake seemed to know the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to a shelf in the back. Oh, here we go. He quickly returned with a file in hand.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what this said. What language is this? How did you make it all the way through high school without learning a single word of French? I mean, I know 0 words of French. I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Whatever. I'll read it to you, but I expect you to repay the debt 100 times over. 100 times? That's kind of extreme. Alright, I'm just gonna read this in my regular voice. Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, they were meant. Their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate that they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they had acquired. Some, however, believe that there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded.
What?
What is it? It all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, this isn't Yugi boy. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are a part of our world. Their battlefields aren't that much different from our lives here, an unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes this all so exciting, Yugi boy. Exciting is definitely a word that I wouldn't use. So, did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it, the report said where the name Fenrir comes from, right? Yeah, right. That's right. It said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? Yeah, the tattoo, could that mean? Yeah.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the Earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
The time has come. Well, all we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the class trial. It would seem that way. Let's go. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get more water. And, yeah. Hello, I return. I return with snackage and water. I will begin the trial shortly. Because I'm doing the trial and investigation in one thing, I'm not gonna do my bit where I dress up. Because I don't want to just leave you guys sitting here for like however long it takes for me to change. Alright. Okay. Whoa, Miyagi and Makoto showing up together? Showed up together? What the heck? Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not try and figure that out? How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's high... Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together, just the two of you? What? Are you jealous? Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself? Stop talking, embrace yourselves. We'll be here any second. You can show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself, but... we stood there waiting for 5 minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet? Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or...
Or what?
Jesus.
Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that?
What? I made you wait. You've got it backwards. You're the ones making me wait.
What?
In other words,
I've been waiting for everyone to arrive so we can... Time to arrive. Everyone's... We can't start till everyone's here now, can we?
What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you.
Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting for 10 minutes now, so... It's okay if I punish the one making all of us wait, right? We all agree it's a violation. I'll arrange a punishment right now.
If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. We heard that voice and all spun around to look. It's... Yep. Where the fuck have you been? I'm here, and no rule's been broken. Yoko. Yoko, you're still alive. No, the ghost. Stop talking.
If you want to fight, do it during the class trial. You need to save some of your fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong?
You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you'll be sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts into the elevator. I'll be one step ahead of you.
When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoto. Yoko. So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps. But that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? Huh? He's right. Now we gotta do it for Ghost. I told you to stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the class trial. Without even looking up... Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen if we make him wait any longer. I'll be happy when this trial's all over. One after another, we piled into the elevator, but I couldn't help myself. I had to talk before the trial. Listen, before I started, I have to ask you, where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then when did you find out?
So,
Just now. I finished my search, came back down here, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. It took some time. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go into a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However,
Sorry I kept you all waiting. But you were on the second floor of the dorm. What if you were on the second floor of the dorms? Then that's what the key you found goes to? Actually, to be precise, not quite.
in other words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before you get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
You can go to the trials after we get... Go to the details after we go through the trial. Okay, Makoto?
It would seem
Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our situation. Because this is probably the single most critical moment for me so far. Her. That's a strange way to put it. Class trial was important for everyone, right? So why would she say the crucial moment for her? Well, if that's all. Damn, she does always hit us with a goodbye. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator, and then we all fucked off. Hello, one person. Hello. I need to click on buttons. Being the last one, I stepped into the elevator. The door slid shut. This time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears. The dread began to consume me once again. You know, I'm not saying I want to, bleed out of my ears, but some nice change in the, volume at least of the, drone elevator might be nice. I can't imagine getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. How have you not gotten used to this yet, buddy? This is like the 5th time you've done this. Into the darkness we went. We just stood there still, silent, in a measurable period of time. The doors opened without warning. Dazzling light penetrated every depth of our eyes, but it wasn't illuminating light. The illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
I fucking hate that. What the hell? What is this room and why is it the worst designed thing I've ever fucking seen in my life?
I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs is past. Let's get on with the show.
And so with that, the curtain opened for the 5th time. Deadly class trial. Alright, I think we're just good to go. It is trial time, motherfucker. Oh boy.
Begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Very true.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
Uh-huh.
I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim.
Mm-hmm.
First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
Yeah, so that's not.
That's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well,
Ghosts can have legs.
she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Mm.
Her traits?
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
I swear if she ends up.
Tried to fool us all.
I swear if she ends up being a member of Fenrir, I'm gonna lose it. It's quite possible. If I can't prove it, we'll be stuck here. I have no choice but to. Okay. Okay.
Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Cause that corpse.
Okay. Yep. No. Alright. Oh boy. Thank you for your wonderful input, Byakuya. Holy fucking
The dead
Christ.
body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Cause that corpse is.
This entire discussion is idiotic. That Kyoko. Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't.
They got burnt up. The explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well,
Yeah. Then she can't wear it because the nails. Sit down, dumbass. I'm Makoto here.
The corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
He is right.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be
So
pretty
why
weird
would
for
she
someone
just
who's
not?
conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Yep.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
Brother.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Byakuya, at this point, just let it go, dumbass. Okay, everything's just from here. Alright, well. Huh.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
If Kyoko really... Then who died?
There's gotta be some way... I don't think so. And there wasn't any description... Well, if we can't identify...
Oh my god. Alright, fine. Holy.
If Kyoko really is still alive,
Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to... I don't think so.
The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
That's a lie. We can absolutely identify the body. Get fucked.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
Yeah.
For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Okay, thanks for the threat, Toko. Holy. Why?
this I gotta see.
Brother.
Being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
Every time Toko opens her mouth,
The identity of the victim is
I lose a little bit of my sanity.
Oh, really?
Compared to that too, the other to be clear. Oh. Yeah. This.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Mm-hmm.
Fenrir?
Neves that represents Fenrir. It's a dog. Or a wolf. Okay, come on. Give me the W. Give me the W. Give me the thank you. Give me the F. Give me the F. Give me the F. Give me the F. Give me the F, please. There we go.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology.
Mm-hmm.
World-ending wolf beast.
Yep.
He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Uh-huh.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir.
Yep.
So it must have been Mukuro.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
I skipped. Whatever.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead?
now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
Alright, okay. Yeah.
After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
Yeah, true enough.
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
Which, I mean, I'd argue is pretty
If
close.
I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's
I have an answer for you.
character dies, it has a lot more detail.
Well, Toko, the same fiction.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us, just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Monokuma, calm the fuck down.
Rattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Alright, okay.
Officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place.
Okay, alright, yeah.
Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains.
What you're
Yep.
saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Yeah. Probably.
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
No, there's not.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Not really.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden.
Okay.
However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs.
Mm-hmm.
All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only
Very
ones
true.
without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Yep.
exactly so.
The suspects now are me and Makoto. Allowed to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of...
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
The murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right?
Yeah, we found the body at about 9.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Uh-huh. Alright, stop recapping.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
Yep, hero, that's... yeah.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Oh, yeah.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Mm-hmm. What happened between 10 and 9? And I don't have an alibi from 10 to 7:30. Looks like the game has begun. If I can't prove my alibi period, then I have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time. To do that, I need to make clear... Okay. There's probably the sprinklers. If I had to make a guess, it's the fucking sprinklers.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Oh.
It's 7:30.
God damn, okay.
We've established a time it took place somewhere between 10 and 9 o'clock in the...
Yep, and
Makoto doesn't have...
Yeah, from 10 to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections...
Now would be the time.
We've established a time frame for them. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night...
No, it's wrong.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense, yeah. I'm fucking stupid.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
Very true.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate how you fucking say that. Oh.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean?
Toko, every time...
Denying the sprinkler? Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
No.
You're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us
Brother, all you have to do is just say, yeah, I dumped water on the fucking...
I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing.
Oh, I was fucking up the...
I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? How can you say it wasn't the
This should prove it.
Okay. I like how he tries to prove it by not saying that I dumped a bunch of fucking water on it.
Remember what the body was like after the explosion.
I mean, he's saying that, but,
The
like...
sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
Maybe.
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
Oh my god.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... While the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place
Mm-hmm.
sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means I have an alibi, motherfucker.
Must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Yes.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Yoko's the only one without an alibi. Which means Rose Killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murders someone. Yeah,
Say one thing.
it's not.
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
Are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
Yeah.
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
Not really.
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive...
It's an interesting theory, Miyake. Unfortunately, it's completely wrong, but,
Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Why the fuck?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
Huh?
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Oh, the tarp.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water.
Sure. Let's not act. Sure. Let's not question. Just go along with the game's logic.
The pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place.
Very
In
true.
other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp, if it was used the way Kyoko said, that tarp must have been touched by the body. Yeah. But the body.
Wait, something's not right.
And what might that be?
Lack of blood. Privacy of the body explosion, dead. What the fuck?
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
Oh, I'm fucking stupid.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
I have no idea what the fuck it wants me to do here.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on
One side.
is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Let me think here. The blood had... Well, the body didn't dry on Byakuya even warned us not to touch it to avoid getting bloody.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from...
Like, I know what it was wanting me to say, but I don't know how the...
The tarp was only
Say
dirty
it.
on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
By covering the killer prevent.
So the reason the because the spring, but the underside, it was totally. It's because that side was.
Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's not...
Shoot!
yeah, okay. Alright, okay, go ahead. Yep.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side.
No, that doesn't answer it. Mm.
Shoot! I refuse to give up yet.
Yeah, Makoto refuses to give up. Hmm.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body,
Well, I didn't hit the
of course
thing.
it didn't get dirty.
By covering the killer prevent.
So the reason that is because the spring, but the underside, it was totally
Spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's the thing of like, I understand what the game wants me to say. It's just sometimes the way it wants me to say it is fucking weird.
Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Very true.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Hmm. Honestly, that's me right now, Makoto.
After the killer
Just
used
what?
the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim.
Ow.
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
Maybe.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time.
Hmm.
The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
What? Ah.
I got it! Could it have been
Yeah.
chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
That actually works.
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
Mm-hmm.
But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
That it does.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right?
Yes.
But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it.
If anything, that makes it more likely that that fucking happened.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
Yeah.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Also backwards?
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they've already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred.
Yeah.
They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
I've just never been there.
Wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had
Yeah.
time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
Damn.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
What's she trying to do? So the body has been added to
Well
the
then,
truth. Okay.
Looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Brother, I hate that. I hate that idea. Just why? Why would you do that?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Uh-huh.
Don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and...
Oh.
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Alright, thank you for the recap.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
It wasn't relevant. But I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I did not murder anyone. Okay. Can I not do the Monokuma file, please?
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
It established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means that the knife was thrust through the coat into the body. Oh, okay.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically...
Well,
Getting stabbed is what killed her, so there's no question.
you took that knife.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto. The knife we found, it's the same. It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it.
Just because I had that automatically...
Well,
Shoot!
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
if he did have that seals it.
Just because I had the knife, that automatically...
Well, getting
Stabbed, so there's no question.
I keep hitting the wrong button.
Horrible man you are, Makoto. The knife we found lodged... It's the same. It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that knife, that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me...
Well,
Ah, there we go. Yeah, I figured. There we go.
Hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
lies. We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
I'm stabbed twice in the same spot? No way that's possible. The execution of the body was written down for everyone to see. Oh.
I got it!
Yep. Here we go.
The file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
No, it doesn't.
Sure did.
just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
Yeah.
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward.
Yeah.
They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but
Yeah.
what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
Well, I have the answer right here.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Alright, well, that's one way of putting it.
I'll tell you, I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto.
My brain was like, yeah, you tell him, Morgana. God, I hate that they're the same voice actor. Where the fuck is it? Fragments near the dead body is 100% the right one. Because it's a fucking bomb.
We found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Yes.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Yes, it does.
You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto.
I'd also like to point out, it means that one of them
Benefit from that
moved the bomb.
is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate.
Multiple stab
It won't
wounds.
change the facts of the case regardless.
Multiple stab wounds. We need to determine what. Okay, to concentrate. Please give me the Monokuma file so that way I can fucking be like, there were multiple stab wounds. It was Junko. Thank you. Oh my god.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Alright, fine.
Then shall we continue the debate?
The victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
She was already
Totally dead.
And it wasn't me because of the knife. And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't kill her.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me because then there's only
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
and more than that...
Oh my
The victim
fucking
suffered
god.
countless wounds across her entire... Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal...
I see the answer. I just.
There's a...
Oh, yeah.
gotta be. Shoot.
How is that not a contradiction? Because I can just make the Monokuma file clearly states that they died of a stab wound.
Shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah.
She was already.
And it wasn't me. There's a...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. And more than that,
The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Maybe it does actually state like a singular wound.
explosion didn't kill her.
well, yeah.
I don't know.
There's a...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it.
And more than that, the victim
No.
Shoot.
You think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction somewhere. What the?
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me. There's...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. And
Hmm.
the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire. Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Yeah, that's not it. Okay.
Shoot.
I've hit it in just about every other place. It's wanting me to
Then shall we
collect
continue the
something.
debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife covering up all those wounds on a weren't fresh, which leaves only.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Shoot.
Yeah. Okay. Come on. Come on.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. And more than that,
The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
No, that's not it. Oh my god.
then shall we continue?
Alright, does it maybe want the other way around?
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me. There's a...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. And more than that,
The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's
No.
Shoot.
Mmm.
Then shall we continue?
continue the debate. The victim's
Fatal injury has yet.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She
She was already told.
And it wasn't because of the... Then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
then shall we
Continue the debate?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
Okay. What the fuck? Why?
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
No, they do.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
No, it's not the pickaxe.
Impossible! If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
No, it would not.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
The fuck?
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with a metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
No.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
I gotta be honest, Byakuya. Oh.
I got it! Mukuro
Okay,
hit the
yeah.
back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. Was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Okay, can we talk about how a blow to the back of the head implies a blunt fucking object and not an arrow, which is inherently stabbing?
Doubt about it.
Oh.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
Okay. There's one more secret. Oh, joy to the world.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master. You have no right!
Thank you for that lovely input. Or just a titanium arrow wouldn't be nearly thick enough, which is why they used...
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker.
Arrows.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Fuck you.
Shoot! The titanium arrow.
It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, because it said the weapon must have been. It seems like an arrow would just be too thick. Talking back to Master, you have no right!
Shut up, Toko.
The titanium. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, it said the weapon must have been. It seems like.
Shoot!
Oh, for
The titanium arrow.
duct tape.
It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow.
Okay, yeah, the tape. Alright, that... I don't know.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together.
Yeah.
Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's
Alright.
Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks.
Alright, okay, literature.
One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
It's meant to teach.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, you, Kyoko.
Well, huh?
Into the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course.
Also, my god, was to see my brother. I tried to talk to you when you were in the fucking dojo.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to.
Oh, she's not the
Death
murderer.
of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I got it!
Yep.
One thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle.
I'd like to make this clear. Why the fuck would she lead us to it?
Motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
Ah. She knew I was being attacked. She came to rescue me. That'd be when I... She's that Kyoko. She killed someone for me.
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
Yeah, you should know better than anyone. What does that mean? Oh, when the body was... That's the only one I get here? Oh, for fuck's sake.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Oh, okay. Yep, yeah.
Those words you just...
Exactly what I'm not the You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
there's proof that you... Is that what you're...
You stated you said I hid and then left the lock, but could I really have done that?
Oh, well, I fucking skipped it. Okay, hold on.
Exactly what I'm not the You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
there's proof that you... Is that what you're saying?
You stated you said I hid and then
Left the locker key in my own room.
But could I really have done that?
Oh my god.
Those words you just...
Exactly what I'm not the You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
there's proof that you... Is that what you're saying?
You stated you said I hid the
Evidence
Of my and then
left the locker key in my own room.
No, that's not it. Okay, come on.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
Probably doesn't have anything to do with that.
Byakuya,
What are you...
Master would never.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a fear. You said I hid and then left the lock, but could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly what I'm not the You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
Yeah, that's
But
fucking annoying.
Really have done that?
those words you just...
Exactly what I'm not the You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker. And then...
Left the locker key in my own room.
No.
Correct?
Shoot!
Shut the fuck up, game. Shut up, 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 shut up. My God.
Is this really the... I refuse to give up yet.
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never...
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier.
You said I hid and then left the lock, but could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what...
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone.
Oh my God.
Master would never...
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory. You said I hid and then left the lock, but could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than
Anyone here.
Oh my God, I needed to fucking crawl.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory. You said I hid and then left the lock, but could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
No, that's not.
Those words
you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not the killer. You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
there's proof that you aren't the... Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory. You said I hid the evidence and then left the locker key in my own fight. Could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No.
those words you just spoke.
Exactly what
I'm not the killer.
I'm fucking stuck.
Byakuya, what are you...
Master would never.
There's proof that you... Is that what you're saying?
You said I hid and then left the lock, but could I really have done that?
This is the part of the trial where we're gonna dispense the
Those words you just spoke.
fucking next like 30 minutes.
I'm not.
No. That's
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not the You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
doesn't tell me.
that you... Is that what you're saying?
Me at the end of all
You said I
this.
hid and then left the lock, but could I really have done that?
Wait, Hyoko gave the key to Byakuya.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never.
there's proof that you... Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo lock and then left the locker key in my own room. Correct?
But could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly what. I'm not the You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide something.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Whatever you want, game. Oh my god.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Huh? Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself.
Very true.
Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
There's a clear contradiction of lie, but this isn't like her. Such a desperate lie. There's something else happening. Deeper meaning than what Kyoko said earlier. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will be seen forever, which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap. Okay. Mastermind's trying to trap Kyoko, but what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I do? Mastermind's trying to... What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. Am I the only one who knows it's a lie? Am I the only one who can expose it? But who? Can I trust? What am I supposed to do? Enjoy your time trying to avoid danger or you'll never move forward. I know the danger, but okay. Am I wrong? I have to decide right now. I'm gonna...
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time.
Did I fuck up?
I couldn't possibly have killed anyone.
I do this and then Kyoko's just standing there just looking at me like, why the fuck did you do this, you dumb motherfucker?
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived...
It had to be Makoto, right?
Oh, have I fucked up? Yep, yeah.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up! Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you
Damn.
mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time!
Okay,
Yay!
fuck off.
Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Huh?
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
me! What's it gonna be?
Oh my god. You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right.
No, that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way. Time for the hand pounding through the punishment.
Wait, why do I... Damn. Damn. Yeah, okay, so yeah, alright, holy fuck. Yoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Yoko?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Wait. So, oh my god. So, I actually did fucking, what the hell? God, I am confused. Because it means that I actually did probably kill her. Or kill Mukuro. Because if it wasn't, they would be like, nope, sorry, you're wrong, brother. Okay. Your hero. Okay, so I got thrown down a fucking what? Uh.
Huh? Huh? What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, is that? Yeah, that had to be.
This is...
Oh, Toriko.
Oh, Toriko. Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It
Would seem you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
In other words,
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us.
Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, a little itch. The stupid virus is gone now. Get it and show him Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you never get to see him again. A waste away in garbage-strewn pit. In a way, it's even better than special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world.
Okay. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all of this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words,
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
so
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. What the fuck? Why are we back at the massive high school towers over the buildings in the urban what? Okay, yeah, Hope Speak Academy, alright, okay, did I just find a time loop? What the fuck? Government funded school privilege, they say that, hundreds of years of tradition, Go to raise hope, Hope's Peak, fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way to get in is if you're scouted by the school itself. Was me. Okay. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It'd be weird for me to song off in the middle of class or something boring, but whatever. What was I doing asleep just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck's going on? Get... Finally. I can feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. It wasn't just another dream, a dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils were too powerful for it to be a dream. What's that awful smell? I was in a vast dark cabin with the barest hint of light seeping in. Grass was piled high across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. The heck situation I find myself in. But it was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck here for the rest of the game? Probably not. No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me. He used up the last bit of strength he could to do it. So I can't give up now, for I shall confer my friend. With that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to look for a way out of here. No, I tried to pull, push, or kick. It's locked. It won't budge. And it's not going to be that easy. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. I can never be sure which liquids to drink and which ones are a bad idea. Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked on all sides, but that's still not enough of a reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I will never give up. And making that pounding declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. Yep, sure, but I think at least a full day had passed. All I did was sleep and sleep. I was like waiting for some kind of sign falling from the sky. However, what fell from the sky was not a sign. Not exactly. Okay. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed into an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above. What could it have been? Did it fall down? I carefully stretched out my hands at a terrible thing. It came tumbling down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. Why the fuck did what?
It smells awful.
Okay. So what the fuck? Hello, viewer. I don't know how else to describe what the fuck I'm just witnessing other than this game is reaching levels of anime plot that I didn't think physically possible. Yoko, did you bury yourself in trash and fall down here? This place smells awful. Yoko.
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Is it obvious? I'm here to help you. Help me by getting stuck down here with me? What the f... You better have some way of getting out of here. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Yoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead. Eat it. We can talk once you've finished. Thank you. I snatched the brown water she was holding out to me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. That really hit the spot, or really just any kind of food or sustenance hit the spot, probably. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. You still haven't given up, then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going... After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all that I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. What the fuck? What, Kyoko? Why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or, no, atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. Well, abandon you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However,
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there's a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost. A reason? Why'd you have to survive? Why'd you have to go ahead and doom me to an eternal life of fucking garbage?
it's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I had to survive
In other words,
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one reason. One very important reason. So you have a reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
indeed.
That's right. Or at least I once did. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... And I had no memory. Yep, yeah. And it really is true. You did lose your memory. Do you remember, Makoto? You remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived here at the school? The first thing? You're talking about we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here. I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd came to the school. And I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what could make you forget all of that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. Seems too convenient. Or are you saying you lost your memories because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive. It was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. The mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
and it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mysteries of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that, if we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it. A mastermind, one of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case it makes sense that she would look into her missing memories by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because, among everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... Well, I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand.
Voice acting?
I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
The fuck? Yeah. It's just like the dream I had before. Why did that just happen?
Listen,
Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. No, tell her. It is nothing, right?
hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know. Just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know. I never asked you for help in the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said the reason for doing all of that, investigating on your own? So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember everything?
So,
I think there's a lot that I still don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose, my ability. Which is... You mentioned your ability? My ability? What everyone should have known me for? I'm the ultimate detective. I kind of figured as much. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy? There was someone I had to find in here, in the school. Find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Yoko's dad. Is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Well, that explains why when Alter Ego told us he thought that the headmaster was involved. Oh, fine. What? Oh, yeah. My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose coming here was to find him. Well, that makes sense.
however,
But listen, Makoto. I want to make this perfectly clear so that way you do not understand. Do not misunderstand. They said that the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said that. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess. The desk desks were dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor dorms using the key that I'd found. But why there? Because I'd also found this in the headmaster's room. Some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entire Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for facility use. Some of the staff must have stayed overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check. And that's when I finally remembered. And I remembered my purpose. Was to find the owner of that room. So so you went there to see if the headmaster's room really did have a private room there?
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like, that part of the school? I mean, it's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we imagined. What do you mean?
so
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. I'm sure you'll get the chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important. Really ominous.
however,
Of course, once I got to the second floor, I was just having there were no cameras, no monitors, which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so that who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind fucked with shit. What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of their trial was to get me killed. To get you killed?
indeed.
I stole the key and disappeared. In retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they could interfere. They couldn't interfere directly. You mean the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, which, with the rules in this place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations. There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have been... There was a point where Mukuro might not have became the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Well, I could have been the victim.
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... Yep. During that night, I can hear them, you know, the footsteps of the god of death. What the fuck, Kyoko? Kyoko admitting that she is either some sort of demigod or adjacent being. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability, that natural ability, draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorm and all of a sudden, I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell. I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and saw what was happening. And I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised. The dojo key wound up in my room. That was all the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this, so that would mean that whoever killed Mukuro Ikazawa is the mastermind, right? I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But if that's really true, that means that the mastermind can kill whoever he wants whenever he feels like it. Wait, doesn't that create another contradiction? Mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try to kill you because he couldn't interfere, right? You're right, that is a contradiction. But it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Aw?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused the event. We were talking about what happened a year ago, the biggest, tragedy responsible for all this shit. They were the ultimate despair. That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're, make no mistake, they're the root of all evil, and they forced us to go through all of this. That is the ultimate despair. And they are our real enemy. Alright, let me save the game, please. Let me save the game, please. Please, 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 please. Can I save? Okay. Let me make it a little bit further. The one who caused the tragedy. Some people put together the killing game and began broadcasting around the world. The most desperate, awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Yoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. You can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
And then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey, Kyokyo. You ever use that key of yours to open up this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then it opened.
Indeed.
Now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape. Finally, you were free. But there wasn't time to take a breath or relief, because the real fight had just begun. After leaving Garber's Pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel, sending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading to the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Thank you for that. Okay. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see the end. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark that I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. Hey, don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will keep my mind off of it. So what, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. Over a long line of detectives, detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family has always seen it that way. Then is her family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? Well, how come? It's like your family tradition, right?
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the truth. Absolutely. We stay neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our own existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family's creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, I was looking up info on everybody at school, and I never saw anything about you. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect you.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Or? In order to come to Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. The reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it's because of how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. What? But you'd be reuniting after all those years. You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
there is something I want to say to him, though. What? Well, no matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, he was still very young. Or I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died. And he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. Well, I'm sure that there was a reason for that. Well, I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in my work. I take pride in my family name. Every last part of me is happy he didn't take him with me. Take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I would have never gotten the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, he was more talkative, more emotional. I don't blame him. You know? He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say. Right? But that's not true.
However,
there's one thing I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind, but like I said, I think it was a good thing. When the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. And then we saw the little girl that was abandoned by their father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow's been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow. That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family? You just cut him out like that? Yeah, fuck him.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart, soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Are we connected through blood, not heart and soul? I was shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder and kept completely silent. After I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this was it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I just my hand up pushed against the door and... Yep. Looks like we're back. I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak. Yoko, thank you. I would have never gotten out of there if it weren't for you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. So what do we do now? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but what if the mastermind finds out? I'm worried about you, too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, let's...
However...
We try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we are found out anyways. It's not like we can run. And she said that she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying, rather than stressing over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. what you're thinking. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one who's ensnared. The mastermind's ensnared. You said something like that before. What does that mean? The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a point where the mastermind let their guard down. There was. We can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. But it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we really don't have a choice, do we? Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. I think let's keep going until I get back to my, dorm room and shit.
Well now.
Hey. Yoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here?
That's exactly how I thought he would react. Are we really all gonna be okay?
You're supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do?
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone are to be executed. It's unfortunate, but this is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again. And this time, I won't leave her anything to chance.
Yoko.
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
Before you do, let me say one thing.
now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh? I lose? You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you set up the last trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be the chosen as the blackened, and then executed, right?
Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
When Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial wasn't at all what you expected, or were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position one person would protect another like that.
right.
In response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the blackened and trying to execute him. You made a choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then, there was another unexpected development waiting for you. The entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious machinery. Walter Ego. You never imagined the possibility of that being... Possibility that could come to your aid even after you'd killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mikuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right?
And that means I lost. You talk a big game. You're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto.
Well,
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that.
What is this, some kind of comedy routine to make such a bold claim without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any evidence right now, but for a little more time, I guarantee you I will find something.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there will always be one. There will only be one absolute truth.
And now you're talking like some kind of famous detective.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he would have never came to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run away and hide. You would have been gripped by despair you love so much.
however,
But here we are confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
what the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me? In the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. What?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because of what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
And of course, if you could say we're just making this all up, you're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving it, your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want our despair, if you want to earn our despair fair and
that's what I
square,
have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice.
Oh, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Makoto's trial over again. Only this time you follow the regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One
It's-
final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, would that make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown, in other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. For what reason would the mastermind have to accept this challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed.
Mary?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for some bear jokes. Now that you've
Suggested might be... Now, what you've suggested might be plausible, but it would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys?
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? It would be because of your unbearable despair, right? And I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Your hope went out? Or will my despair claim your victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one ghostly final showdown.
We agreed. Now this time we have to give it all we got.
But this is a long-awaited climax, right?
Just guessing the killer is barely fitting in the end.
For this face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here.
All the mysteries?
That's right. The last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely contain myself!
then that'll be enough to
Qualify.
That'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we're trying to do all along.
Okay, well, then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way through the proof of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
Guys?
then you win. If you can't, do all of that.
We'll all face execution, right?
I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show?
We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we uncover every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that. For sure. So what?
hey,
Just wanted to confirm that is what you said, right? It's a true statement.
You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that.
Huh? Nukuro's trial is no exception? Then it's part of the regulations. You mean that whoever killed Nukuro...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I already told you this, but this killing began with 16 participants, all of them being high school students. And the only person participating in this game to take a single step into Home's Beef Academy since the killing game began are those 16 students.
What?
listen.
You're telling the truth? Why do you go quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm really angry.
I'm done talking. I've got nothing left to say to you. There you go. So get lost, would you?
Why so mad, Mickey? He seems emotionally unstable.
Leave me alone. Get out of here.
Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go?
I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get punishment later anyways. I need to start getting ready. A super duty extra punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Makoto's laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. It was just like that when we walked out the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we had a chance. Overall, things turned out better than I expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle's still ahead of us. Yeah, that's true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I was sure the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because
So, because the moment that the mastermind let their guard down, like I said. So, when was it that the mastermind let their guard down? I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They'd hijacked all the broadcast schools to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely did say that.
listen.
What did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of taking over the airways seems so unbelievable. We don't exactly read about something like that ever happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, it's kind of this extremely difficult to pull
However,
off, and yet somehow the mastermind was able to
in
do
other
it.
words,
But I think of it another way. There must be some reason they had to do something that difficult. Reason? Had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. We wanted to show the world. The mastermind was very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. The rules were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed.
In other words,
The mastermind's ultimate goal was for us to kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students in Hope Speak Academy, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants to see that and try to prove that despair is better than hope. That's their ongoing goal. What? Prove that despair is better than hope? Well, that'd be ridiculous.
True.
You're right. It is ridiculous, completely irrational. The kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group, from those purposes, the motivation came from despair. But the only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry that must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led the mastermind to revealing their weakness. What?
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this going into the world, the mastermind has to be particular about. More particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind were to simply ignore the rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
very least.
That's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves. That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single regulation. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case, they can't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all the proper rules to get me killed. They began the trial that didn't have an answer. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out the killer. Even though that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when the fact was exposed live on TV, the entire world, the mastermind, had accepted your suggestion to prove to the world that despair is better than hope.
In
Okay,
other words,
we'd only got a mastermind. Okay. Accept your challenge. Well, it's thanks to you that we got the chance because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much the mastermind's fucking around. I haven't the slightest clue. In the end, I couldn't prove it exactly either way. Prove any of it. It was just my reasoning, essentially me making a bet. But it looks like I was right after all. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. Well, I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment you decided to talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd show my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. You're probably right. How pathetic.
however,
Anyway, we can't relax yet. All we've done is earn each other a chance to fight. We have to win this time. Or everything we've gone through will be for nothing. You're right. We can't defeat the mastermind now. There's no other option except to win. Before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but we don't know who our real enemy is. We all have to work together now with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone?
However,
Is that really possible? What? Anyway, right now we have the others to
shall we
find.
go?
They're probably in their dorms. Shall we go? Alright, clearly this is not going to take me back to my room, so I'm just going to save the game, and I will finish this probably in one stream, eventually. Because I imagine there's not much left. And I gotta be honest, my voice is fucking destroyed. But, yeah, I will see you guys. I don't know when I'm gonna be streaming next. Maybe tomorrow, but probably not after today. Nah, I don't know. But,